Let's talk about a number. And no, I don't mean your salary or your net worth or anything like that. I'm talking about a very specific threshold, a hidden number that, according to our source material, is the key to finally ending that financial anxiety so many of us carry around every single day.
You know this feeling, right? This question just hits you where you live. You're doing everything you're supposed to, you get the promotion, you hustle, your income goes up, but that little hum of panic in the back of your mind, it just never seems to go away. What if the problem isn't about earning more? What if it's a fundamental misunderstanding of what your money is actually for?
And that right there brings us to this critical difference. We're all taught to chase income, right? Get the bigger paycheck. But our source argues that real financial peace, it doesn't come from your income. It comes from security. And you know what? Confusing those two things is exactly what keeps people trapped.
Okay, check this out. This slide really breaks it down perfectly. When you're only focused on income, you're on the left side of the screen. You're just surviving. Every decision you make is based on fear. Your car breaks down, it's a full-blown catastrophe. But now, look at the right. With security, you're thriving. That same exact car problem is just an annoyance now. It's a manageable problem, not a threat to your entire existence. You get to make decisions from a position of power.
So the big question is, how do you get from that left side, from surviving, over to the right side, to thriving? Well, the source material gives us a specific target, a clear, exact number that can get you out of that constant reactive mode for good. And it's called the 100K threshold. And this is why this number is such a game changer. Reaching it isn't just about having some cash in the bank. It's a total evolution of your financial life. It's the point where you stop just plugging holes in a sinking ship, and you can finally start charting a course to where you actually want to go. The game of defense ends, and the game of offense finally begins.
And there it is, $100,000. According to the source, this is the magic number. Not a million, not 10 million, 100,000. Why? Because hitting this target isn't just about math. It triggers a massive psychological shift in how you see the world and your place in it.
So what really happens inside your head when you cross that line? Let's dig into how this financial cushion literally rewires your brain, because that's where the real power of this number is hiding.
Okay, the first huge change is this. You get to say goodbye to constant crisis mode. The source actually calls this 100K cushion an invisible force field. Once you have it, that surprise medical bill or the flat tire, it just doesn't send your brain into a tailspin anymore. Yeah, the problem is still there, but it's not an existential threat. And that force field, well, it leads directly to the second major shift. You start operating from what's called the power position. I mean, think about it. When you're broke, you have to take the job you hate. You have to put up with a toxic boss because you need that paycheck to live. But with this cushion, you gain the most powerful word in all of finance: no. You can walk away from bad deals because you're not making choices out of pure desperation anymore. So we've talked about the practical stuff, dodging panic, saying no to bad situations. But there's a much, much deeper truth to all of this. There's a hidden purpose for this first $100,000 that most people miss entirely. I'm going to let that sink in for a second. This isn't my quote, it's from the source, and it is so powerful. The goal here isn't a new car, it's not a fancy watch. The real prize you're buying with this money is your own mind, your own mental freedom.
And this all boils down to a concept called cognitive financial freedom. It's that state where your brain is no longer chewed up by the daily, grinding stress of just making ends meet. And once you free up all that mental energy, that bandwidth, you can finally focus on the big picture. You can start building real, strategic, generational wealth.
All right, so we get the why. It's powerful stuff. Now let's get practical and talk about the how. The source actually lays out a super simple, no-nonsense plan to build this cushion for yourself. First things first, we need a major mindset shift. Your new mission, if you're starting from zero, is not to become a millionaire overnight. Forget that. Your one and only focus should be on building a financial wall, that force field we talked about, between you and a world that is always going to be unpredictable. And here it is, the blueprint. It's literally just 2 steps. Step 1, break the zero. Your only goal is to save your first $1,000. That's it. Get out of the red, get your head above water. Step 2, automate. Relentlessly. The source is so clear about this. Willpower is not a long-term strategy. You have to set up automatic transfers from every single paycheck into a separate account. Let the system do the heavy lifting so your savings build without you even thinking about it. And as we wrap this up, this final quote,
Man, it just perfectly captures the whole idea. We're constantly sold this idea that wealth is loud and flashy. But the argument here is that real wealth, it's internal, it's silence, it's peace of mind, it's a quiet mind. Which leaves us with one last question to think about. Because remember, this cushion, it's not the final goal. It's just the beginning. It's the key that unlocks the door. So once you have it, once you finally bought back your own mind, what are you going to do with that freedom?